It's Halloween time once again, and time to hunt out a spooky story. And while there are plenty of weird and haunted places, we are going to focus on upstate New York and one mystery that trumps them all. And it's a story that you may not know. Indian Lake is a town in Hamilton County, New York, the US. The name of the town is taken from the lake, which is largely inside the town limits. It is also the title of a blog. The Indian Lake Project blog cryptically details the author's ongoing search for information about what he believes was an MK Ultra-like government-sponsored mind control program conducted on children in the woods around Indian Lake, New York during the early 1950s. So is the Indian Lake Project fact or fiction? Let's take a look. Welcome to IF, videos on history and mystery. Hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell so you never miss a video again. There have been many government secret projects that for years were nothing more than rumor, classed as conspiracy theories, and those that spoke of them were ridiculed, or if they knew more than they should, were disappeared. The CIA's illegal MK Ultra mind control experiments infamously used drugs, hypnosis, and electronic devices to control the minds of its subjects. The facts of this long secret project being revealed in sensational documents officials hid for decades, which recently came to be public knowledge. These records rewrite the history of the CIA's covert and illegal MK Ultra project. Researcher John Greenroad Jr., who spent almost 20 years trying to obtain the documents to prove the stories that were told in hushed rooms and whispered in the corridors of government buildings, were indeed fact. The documents that he found were released under the Freedom of Information Act and revealed how the CIA experimented on both humans and animals using drugs, hypnosis, and strange electronic devices as part of a top secret, against the law, mind control project, the MK Ultra program that for so many years was said to be nothing more than a spooky tale. Shockingly, there is still large swathes of information missing or redacted from the records, and this could mean the CIA is still hiding other such projects and programs, or that they could still be carrying out this type of experiment today. The idea of other projects linked to MK Ultra and human experimentation brings us to Indian Hills. The beginnings of this weird story of the Indian Lake Project came from a blog first appearing online in October way back in 2005. The blog outlines the claimed evidence that the author says was passed on to him by his uncle, who first uncovered a box along a trail in the late 1990s. It also has details on the people who allegedly contacted the blog author with information on the mysterious project, and that he believes he is being targeted by the authorities for having this information. The box's contents are said to paint a chilling picture of human experiments. Experiments that it is said were conducted on children, but are they fact or fiction? Searching online for references to the Indian Lake Project always leads back to the blog page. Links pop up on paranormal, conspiracy, and mystery forums. Many have said that the story is a work of fiction. However, real programs of government experiments have come to light through declassified documents in recent years, but few, if any, have involved children. Is it possible that this mystery box has uncovered real evidence of yet another secret program? From 1952 to 1955, it is believed that the Adirondacks hosted a series of extremely immoral and downright creepy experiments, all part of an experimental program ran by the CIA. Proof of the program actually existing is slim, the majority being from the blog and the mystery box. But with the uncovering of the evidence in 1997, it is definitely a real possibility that such a secret program could or would have existed. What has been learned over the years since the Indian Lake Project was brought to the public eye after a hiker tripped over an exposed edge of a box containing photographs and video reels of various people, including 3 young children. The box that was found was heavily worn from years of battering received from the elements. It was eventually passed down to the hiker's nephew after after the man died in 2002, the hiker's nephew, John, began to inspect the many various objects or artifacts that were held within the box. After doing some research, John discovered that there was a program which had been ran by the CIA. It was named Project Artichoke. In a memo found inside of the box was written, "Can we get control of an individual to the point where he will do our bidding against his will and even against fundamental laws of nature, such as self-preservation?" This spooky question showing that the manipulation of the mind could possibly be the end goal of this program. It is believed that children's minds were easier to manipulate and that the 3 children pictured were used in the experiments. The children are believed to be pictured at different ages in the photographs, showing that the personnel responsible for the project could have raised them at the facility in Indian Lake. After carrying out his research and piecing all the pieces of evidence together, John decided he should really take a trip to Indian Lake to see if he could find more proof or information or anything that could further the research himself. After many hours of searching, he came across a large abandoned structure deep in the middle of the woods. The structure was 3 to 4 stories high, and it had no roads which would allow access to it. John believes that this could well be one of the facilities that was utilized in the project. He also said that he found an abandoned building or underground hideout filled with beds that could have been used for the subjects to sleep on before they were used for experimental purposes. Jumping forward in time to today, and John has taken a more cautious approach in dealing with the case. He says that he began receiving unnerving phone calls and had someone break into his house without taking anything, a clearly veiled threat. He believes that it is in the best interest for himself and his family to take a step back from what he has uncovered. He is still researching the case, but is far more careful with what he releases. This could be a wise move. We have learned that when it comes to MKUltra, the secret groups behind the program were happy to kill to hide their secrets. I recommend watching the Netflix documentary Wormwood. It's a real eye-opener and may also open your way of thinking on other conspiracies. But back to Indian Hills. Is this just internet fiction? I think that most of you guys know that there is a long-standing internet genre known as creepypasta, online horror stories. The best of the creepypasta stories often include multimedia material like photos, videos, and links to websites. This created evidence helps perpetuate or substantiate a published story. Urban legends like the Slender Man got their start on creepypasta. The website Crushable took a look at the Indian Lake Project, and while they couldn't make a definitive decision, they felt the Indian Lake Project had all the hallmarks of an elaborate piece of internet fiction. Again, I would remind you that this was often the case with other conspiracies that have turned out to be true. In conclusion, we may have to face the idea that perhaps we will never know the truth behind the Indian Lake Project. The blog has not been updated in many years. A final posting saying, "I will begin posting updates to the new Indian Lake Project Twitter account soon." The ILP Twitter was only updated once with the promise of more updates. Did the author of the story lose interest? Or did something more sinister happen? In my humble opinion, I've looked at the government and its secrets before, and if this is an elaborate hoax, it is very convincing. The nuances of the story mirror the real documented cases like Subproject 68 of Project MKUltra, the chemical tests carried out on the unawares people of St. Louis, and the many clandestine programs that came out of World War II, like Operation Paperclip and all its linked sub-projects, and even stories like that of Japan's infamous Unit 731. So what do you think? Is this a real hidden government program of torture and terror, or just a creepy story that is perfect for sharing around a campfire with some s'mores this Halloween? Let me know in the comments below. Okay, it's clue time. The size of the fish can be learned by 1,000 new subscribers. Was that a little too cryptic? Many answers have been rolling in now, and the list of eligible entrants is growing. Look back at the last 3 videos for more clues to help you find the answers and enter to win the free disclosure shirt. Good luck! And, as always, If you like what I do here on the channel, then hit that red button, like and share. You can catch the latest by searching We Are If. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.